Okay, we're going to continue this. I split this up in 2 videos. It's just too much, man.
The other way around, where they're acting up in school but not at home. Is that the case for your patients, Dr.?
No, I really think a lot of times it almost has to do with parenting.
Do with parenting. Yeah, it's on the parents' fault.
This cocksucking whore.
Parents keep the same thing over and over and over. And then they say, they don't listen to me,
Exactly. So here we are. The next slide is the parenting factors. So what you're saying is that in your cases that you're describing, the kids are problematic both at home and at school. So what are some of the things we know that set them up? Well, parents who don't set kindly structure, children really need structure, and consistent attention will find it, even if they find it by acting up. And often these parents are doing poor limit setting, but also inadequate nurturance. So the kid hasn't got anything to lose because they don't feel cared for by their parent in the first place. And that makes it a much harder problem to treat, right?
The kid doesn't have anything to lose because he doesn't feel provided for by his parent in the first place. That is how we all are all born. That is how we are all born. That's what happens to us when they fucking take us from our mothers after we come out, after we're born. They take us from our mothers, inject the most highly toxic metals into our body, strip us of all of our fucking individuality, throw us in a goddamn bassinet and put us in a room full of screaming other children, and we learn how to separate. We learn how to separate. They are teaching us from the very beginning. They are putting us on programs from the very fucking beginning.
Right? Because you've got to turn up the parents' nurturance as well. So you might say, well, gosh, parents have children because they want children, right? Well, actually, it's not always true, but they fall in love with their children in general.
They fall... I mean, that's just... You see how she just skipped over that? That's the problem right there. Parents have children in the first place because they want to. Well, maybe that's not always true. Well, eventually because they fall in love with them. Well, maybe not either. I mean, what the fuck, dude? There's your goddamn problem right there. Bitch, why don't you just stop and fucking quit having words spill out your fucking egotistical mouth and you fucking analyze what the fuck is coming out of that cocksucker?
So what are some of the reasons that they might not provide this? Well, often it's depression. And we're talking about maternal depression in up to 30% of parents.
You see that? Up to 30% of parents are depressed during child rearing in the belly and afterwards.
That's particularly parents of kids under 5. Parental alcohol or substance use has a 3 times higher rate of having kids with oppositional defiant disorder. Those parents may be in trouble with the law themselves, again, 3 times more likely to have oppositional defiant kids. Or they may just live in a stressful environment, and they also may have inappropriate...
Oh my God, guys, look at this. Stressful environments. Inappropriate expectations. We have had inappropriate expectations from the time we started shoving fucking poisonous food into our babies, from the time that we fucking taught them how to sleep. We literally expected our child to learn how to sleep from us by leaving it screaming, crying for fucking hours at a time. We literally expected our child to learn how to eat by continuing over and over and over and over again to shove fucking poisonous food into its throat while it tries everything it can. Babies spit it out. They lift their arms up. I mean, when they finally learn how to lift up their arms, they put their arms in front of that fucking nasty shit. Guys, this whole fucking ODD and all these mental disorders come from these egotistical, psychopathic parents pushing their fucking abusive systems onto their children and allowing these abusive systems to catalog, name, inventory their children at birth, put toxins into their bodies, put them into indoctrination centers and expect them to take compliance tests every fucking week.
expectations for what the child should be able to do, so that they're demanding
They call that parenting factors. What about environmental factors, you cocksuckers?
things of the kid can't do it, and the kid finally gives up trying to do it. So I think it's useful to think about these behaviors as being stimulated by the thwarting of any major developmental need in the kid. And this is helpful to the families also to phrase it in terms.
Oh my God, that is so powerful. Challenging behaviors. All this fucking disorder, operational defiance disorder, can be stimulated by thwarting any major developmental need.
Of needs, because what are they likely to say about their kid? He's just a bad seed, right? And that's not helpful. That is not helpful to have that view. So instead you say, well, his needs are not getting met, and that's why he's resorted to this behavior. So if we talk about the needs of young children, and these children, 7-year-olds are not so young, but they still have these problems. Kids need help regulating their state of consciousness, like their arousal. They have a need to have a chance for mastering things. They have a need for positive emotional tone, for assistance regulating their negative affect, and they need to learn pro-social behavior and empathy.
Need for the regulation of their emotional state. Horseshit. The reason their emotions are so out of whack is because they are born into this fucking nasty environment with egotistical parents who spend most of their time and attention on other things other than raising their child. It's that fucking simple. The need for mastery, yes, that is an important one. These children need the need for mastery, to be able to fucking do things on their own and master them on their own. That is, all the parent is supposed to do is create a fucking safe space for them to do that. Need for positive emotional tone. So yes, positive emotional tone. So the parent isn't supposed to be, reeked out with fucking depression and financial woes and worries and stress and afraid the world's going to end and there's not enough food and you can't pay the bills. Okay. And then the need for assistance regulating negative affect. Why would they need assistance regulating negative affect? Because of their outside environment. Need to learn pro-social behavior and empathy. Oh, we have to teach them how to get along with other fucking robots. And empathy. You can't have empathy. Look, you have to heal yourself first, guys.
So if I went over those things sort of briefly, the issue about state regulation, the main thing I'd like to say here about state regulation is that kids actually often these kids who are acting up are also not being put to bed. Excuse me. And so they don't have enough sleep, and lack of sleep leads to this kind of defiant behavior and irritability. So one of the things you should ask about is, are they getting enough sleep? Oh, no, they're not. Well, he has a hard time falling asleep. Oh, let's put him on some sleeping pills.
Woo! Problem solved.
Getting enough sleep. And often, are they getting enough food? Now, in your population there, Medi-Cal population, asking if the child's eating regularly may be an important intervention, because there's something you can do for that, and it's something the parents appreciate. If you make a referral to them to a food program, that can be very helpful. And if they see this as their kids struggling because they're tired and hungry, they may react slightly differently.
Tired and hungry. Sounds like an environmental problem to me. She didn't even mention fucking the need for good food. Put whatever you want in them.
Then they have a need for mastery. And this may kick in to some of your complaints about the kids acting up in school. And that is, children need a chance to try stuff and master it, but without being overwhelmed. And young children...
Yes, exactly. They need to try things and do things on their own without being overwhelmed, without these fucking parents think that they're going to fucking, I'm doing everything for my kid. And they force their kid, they're pushing their kid to become these little geniuses. It's fucking disgusting.
Children may be overwhelmed by separation from their parents,
You think? So this shit comes from overwhelmed, from separation from their parents. Well, let's take care of that. Okay, the parent has to stay at home. That's simple. Oh, well, we can't do that because then the fucking wheels of this machine will stop turning.
overprotectiveness or over strictness, but they can also be overwhelmed because they can't do the schoolwork. So is it your...
Do you see? It's all the goddamn expectations we put on these little fuckers, man. That's all it is. It's all us. All of it. We are sitting here talking about the symptoms that are being displayed by our children in these fucking, while we abuse them in these abusive fucking hierarchies of authority.
Experience, these kids often are not on grade level as well.
Grade level again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like all of those things that you just talked about, I really try to break it down and get the moms to understand, and some of them do. Like the nurturing is the biggest thing in my community, because, you know, it's like the families just raise you hard because they think that's going to make you stronger, and, you know, and I tell them, no, they need for you know, to hug them when they're acting bad. Just hug them, grab them, hug them, because they're just needing attention. I can do...
And that's it, guys. We're going to end it there, because that bitch should just end her whole practice right there. But instead, that one little sentence, she just throws out there with a and then she goes on, because guess what? Her ego cannot live just telling people that one simple thing. Oh, all this acting out your child's doing, they just need a hug. They need attention. They were not given that fucking nourishment as a baby. They are living in a sick environment. They just need you. They need love. They need connection. That's all she needs to say. But instead, these cocksuckers go to fucking school for years. They read books. They all get in their groups. They fucking go to their fucking, meetings, and they all know each other and how many letters they have after their fucking names and how much fucking money they're making. And oh man, it's disgusting, dude. Like, that's ego. That's what I'm talking about. Like, these women are the cause of the goddamn problem. The whole fucking situation can be summed up what she said right there. When your kid is acting out, just hug them.